Hi, hello. In today's video, I will be redesigning Applejack. This week was a little different for me because I'm getting a big boy job, but I still had time to draw Applejack, so yeah. So for this redesign, I had to do a lot of thinking because the main reason I did ponies and not the Equestria girls was because I am scared of 4chan, or not even 4chan, Pony-chan, I don't know what it's called. I'm scared of those people because I already know if I did something they didn't like with the people designs, they, I don't know, kill me in my sleep. Even though I know most of the fandom is normal, it's just that group of people scares me. But I ended up deciding to make. So firstly, I based Applejack's build off of a Clydesdale horse because those are farm horses and they're ginormous. So I tried to make sure that she was much more literal, ginormous than Twilight. I was thinking about my own family's history because my great grandfather from Mexico and my grandfather traveled around the United States until they hit the state that I'm currently in, being picking fruit. I guess I was just thinking about that a lot, and I guess that's how the Mexican American and yeah, I was just thinking about that a lot, and then I also was thinking about some of the really pretty hair with you'll see when I do it, it's like braids but with ribbons in them. I thought it was really pretty, and I wanted to try to replicate that. And the reason I started off with the 4chan people was because I realized I somehow gave a pony a fucking race, and that I was now scared. Yeah. The first thing I did was I looked at the markings on a Clydesdale horse along with the build. I tried to give a thicker neck, just thicker in general, a little bit shorter than a unicorn because I think unicorns are just long and lanky like a cat. I added in the braids. I was debating on the bottom part of the hair because I was like, oh, should I do a ponytail? Should I do a braid? I saw some people doing short hair, but I wanted to keep it the long hair for this one. And I ended up sticking, I did one braid with the ribbons because I was like, oh, it's really pretty. And for the hat, I did a sombrero. I went through many different hats in my mind before I hit the sombrero. But what ended up making me pick the sombrero is a very distinct memory of me digging a ditch with my cousins, and I was 10 or something, and I had this big goofy sombrero that my cousin let me have because I'm really pale, so I was cooking a little piece of chicken, and so I was like, I'll do a sombrero. Because I was thinking about little tiny baby Miwa with the fucking sombrero that's so big it's off kilted and leaning while digging this giant hole, or not a hole, it was a drainage trench for my aunt, because her house was flooding, or was flooding every time it rained, so we got a drainage thingy we digged up a drainage thingy to put in. A lot of this kind of the hat has memories to it, and I guess this was like a love letter to my ancestry in some weird way, even though this is My Little Pony. Because of that, maybe I'll do a love letter to my Italian side at some point, but this was definitely what this was. I just this wasn't as complicated as Twilight's, because in my mind the Earth ponies are a lot less complex with markings, and they're more naturalistic compared to unicorns and Pegasus, because Earth ponies are very much they're more grounded in reality. So I wanted it to make sure that Applejack and Pinkie Pie, and those are the only two Earth ponies, were more grounded in reality when I get to Pinkie Pie. I'm thinking next I'm gonna do Rainbow Dash because that sounds fun. I wanted to see how I wanted each of their not body types, but because in my mind the Pegasus would be really light, because most birds, even large birds, are super light because that's what they need to do to fly. And so they have hollow bones. They everything you can to constrict how much they weigh so that it's easier to fly, because the lighter you are, the less gravity you have to fight against to fly. I wanted to make sure to keep that to an extent with the Pegasus. Even though I know they fly on magic, I just thought it would make more sense if they had some sort of biology. Same thing with the earth ponies. A part of the reason they're more, or my brain, they're more grounded in reality is because in my mind it makes more sense, because they're literally just, they don't need to be wimpy little magic users or bird bone. They're just normal horses with fun colors. I also added the leg spots that the other Clydesdale horse had in my reference picture for the body type I wanted to use. And then I changed her hair color from being like this blonde color to this brown color, because I thought, because I was looking at this horse and I was like, this horse has a really dark mane. And I know there's horses with lighter manes, but I wanted to like remember the reference horse of it. So I remember the reference horse. I also really enjoy the kind of like bright red green I use. And then for the cutie mark, it is a horseshoe apple and some vines, because apples, I like to think maybe she likes exploring. The vines are for going out and exploring, on top of the fact that she loves her family and apples. I'm sorry, I never really watched the show, so I'm really going off of BS and talking to my friend who watched My Little Pony growing up, and that is how I get all my information. So yeah, I actually really enjoyed this. Like I said, it was like a love letter to my history. I also realized that everybody makes applejack out of all of them, especially humanized. Applejack is the one that stays white. That's what my friend said, and I kind of chuckled, and I was like, oh my, because we were looking at them like as ideas, and we were like, oh my god, you're right. Holy shit. It's not like a bad thing, but it was kind of funny that everyone had the same idea of, oh, she's a cowgirl. Anyway, I thought it was really funny, and it kind of makes my design stand out too, which I really liked. And then for the eyes, you have to look in really close to see it, but I gave her apple pupils because I like to think the apple family has certain unique traits other than just the apple cutie marks. Maybe they'll have this eye birthmark where they have an apple in their eye, and it's like the apple of my eye. And I made a pun. I love puns. Come on. Sorry, I'm watching my speed paint back over and it doesn't want to do it. And then I added in my highlights. After that, it was pretty much done. She looked like a beautiful shiny... Oh, wait. I have to do the hair. She looks like a beautiful shiny horse. I added texturing to the sombrero. And after I did the hair, I was basically done. But yeah, I really liked this design. I thought it was just fun. I really like Applejack's color palette, just naturally how it is. I think it's very pleasant with all the yellow and the light orange. I also think another thing that's pleasant that I added was, well, she has green in her eyes, so the green was also pleasant. And then the dark brown helps add some contrast to it for my design. But even like the normal Applejack, I actually think the color palette's quite pleasant. I liked Twilight's too, but I had to tweak it a lot. And Applejack, I just didn't have to tweak it as much. I just kind of used a slightly darker version of her hair color to add in the spots and the racing stripe that Clydesdale had in my reference. Because that's kind of what I based the horse off of, was that specific Clydesdale, because I really liked that reference. If you have the time if you look up how giant those horses are, they're like, it's like, holy shit. Horses should not be that big. It's kind of terrifying. Fun fact about me, I'm not like scared of horses or cows. Oh, I look at them and I freak out. I'm scared of them as in I would not want to be trapped in like a paddock or a fenced in area or like a stall with a cow or a horse. That would be like my worst nightmare because I'm so terrified of getting my knees broken. Because these animals are so large and so powerful, your knees could just be bye-bye. Once I finished Applejack, I debated on the background and then I got with the the green. I'm sorry, I'm still thinking about Clydesdale horses. Rent free in my mind. And then I added in the watermark background because I'm going to start doing that now. I added in an AI disturbance thing because I need to start doing that with everything going on with AI because I would like my art not to be stolen. And then I added in Applejack's name. I put the J backwards. I had to fix that. I love being dyslexic. And this is Applejack. I really like it. She's so cute and like she's really different from all the other ones, and I think this one's probably gonna end up being my favorite just because of the extra thought I put into it. Because like when you like put, even if it's just something like a simple redesign and you really think about aspects, or you put a part of yourself or a part of your history into a character or something, you don't always have to do that. For certain characters, it makes no sense. But for some characters or character designs, when you do that, I think it just makes them just automatically your favorite because I don't know shit. But right now, I think Applejack is probably my favorite. I think she's super, super cute and like super fun. And like every time I look at that sombrero, I have that memory and it's just so fun and so silly. And I also really like the apple pattern I added on the sombrero because I was looking up references. Because the one I wore was I think it was from, I don't remember where it was from. All I remember it was like blue, and I knew I didn't want this to be a blue sombrero. So I looked up some sombreros, made sure to get the shape. I didn't want to do anything too showy because I wanted this to be like a utility thing, not just let me walk into my house and go find me a hat before Miwa cooks alive. So yeah, I based it off of more utility sombreros that are just like straw. But I really had a fun time drawing this because it's so much fun putting little pieces of your own culture. For me, it's a little bit of a stretch. Not too much of a stretch, mostly because my mom is very Americanized. She didn't hear me. But that's just because I don't know why she's like that. She even has a Texas accent. It's really funny. She told me she was half expecting me to also get a Texas accent after I took my braces off, and she was like, why? And I was like, why? And she was like, I didn't sound like this before I got braces, right? And I was like, what do you mean? And she was like, oh yeah, when I got my braces, and then I got them taken off and I got retainers, right? And I was like, yeah. And then she was like, yeah, ever since they took them off, I had this accent. And I was like, that makes no sense. But, yeah. Sorry for going off on that little story time ramble, but thank you guys so much for watching. If you guys want to see the next one, comment. Also, if you guys want me to do an alicorn design, because, okay, the My Little Pony, the person who watched My Little Pony as a kid who was friends with me, they advised me to not do alicorn designs for all the ponies. But I see a lot of people who also do all alicorn designs for all the ponies. I want to get you guys' like group opinion on whether or not that's like a normal thing I should do for this series, because I do intend on finishing it, because it's not like Yandere Simulator where I have to make 12 different parts. This should be relatively easy. Not to mention, drawing these cartoon horses is probably the easiest thing ever. Horse anatomy is like really easy once you like, or not horse anatomy as much as hooved animal anatomy. Once you've broken it down, it's just like easy peasy, especially from the side, because I'm not doing any other angle. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. If you guys like this video, you should like, and if you and subscribe. Thank you guys for watching, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye bye.